Up, everyone? All right, we're back. Hello. I'm streaming from my in-laws' house in Long Island. We've got a whole bunch of family heirlooms and stuff all around me. This is going to be a great stream today. I'm real excited about it. So, a while ago, I met Debbie O'Brien, one of the people behind Playwrights, which is a fantastic end-to-end test tool, playwright.dev. It enables reliable end-to-end testing for modern web apps. Indeed, I am happy to say we got it working. I got it working, and Debbie pressed the green button on TypeScript-ESLint. Let's find that pull request. But we didn't write a lot of end-to-end tests. I'm going to go ahead and say that having an end-to-end test is very good, and I'm looking forward to enabling them today. Here we go. Unfortunately, my stream manager is going to be on the air today because I'm working from my laptop without an external monitor. So you're going to watch me type things in. But okie dokie. Here we go. All right. What I'm going to go ahead and do on the stream today is add end-to-end tests for the website Playground. We have previously introduced breakages into our website, TypeScript-ESLint.io, and we want to have end-to-end tests to make sure that the Playground still works after it's been updated. So while folks are trickling in, I'm just going to sit here and hang out for a little bit. Got a little microphone. Yeah. Live unedited. Cool. I've also got Twitch on my phone to watch myself. It's always weird and spooky when you've got your own voice streaming in, so I've got it muted. But for anyone here, if you're watching on Twitch, please do post in the chat, say hi, ask any question, make any comments you want about Playwright, end-to-end testing, web dev in general, whatever. And if you're watching on YouTube, let me know if there's anything you'd like to see on the stream. I'm just going to go through a demo right now. Switch over there. So on TypeScript-ESLint.io, it's mostly a documentation website. Got docs and things like how to write custom rules and all the rules that we provide, some of the configurations. But the real big fun place is this Playground. TypeScript-ESLint.io/play, which is similar to the TypeScript Playgrounds and AST.Explorer.net, lets you mess around with different rules. Say, let's enable array type error, and then show off what happens when you make a mistake. Say that you declare something that violates one of our rules. Our Playground will give you a link to the documentation for that rule. It'll give you the error message for that rule, a little squiggly there, and it's got a couple buttons that let you apply any fixes suggested by the rule. Swanzor, happy Thanksgiving! Appreciate you. What are you doing today? Are you celebrating at all? Personally, I'm at my in-laws' house, and I already basted the turkey once. It's mostly my in-laws who are working on it, but I'm helping out where I can. I actually, for the first time in my life, made some candied walnuts at home today. What you do is you take maybe a cup of walnuts, about 2 cups. I think it's supposed to be a 1/4 pound of sugar per cup, but I ended up using like 1/3 of a pound of sugar per cup, so like almost a cup of sugar. Then I put in like 4 tablespoons of butter. I just saute that for a while till the sugar caramelizes and melts. It's fantastic. And I'm making those candied walnuts because we're going to be having malt cider, and I bought whipped cream and a little caramel drizzle, and also some rye for the morning alcohol. Ooh, 4-month subversary, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Happy subversary, is that a term? That's a great excuse to celebrate. it's 10:36 on my side, so let's get started. I've been doing a bunch of stuff. Okay, so let's clear my terminal, get your main. Every time I start working on this repo, I have to pull any upstream main changes, which has been getting exciting. Honestly, I feel like we've been doing a lot of good work second half of this year. There's just a lot of changes happening in a good way, a lot of moving. So to get this playground started locally, I yarn starts. Small echo, oh no. That's not good. Here, you can watch me. Here, that might have fixed things. I don't know why there's a Twitch audio source. How do I get rid of that? What? There's no remove. So properties, whatever. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, by the way. I really appreciate it. Let me know if that didn't fix it, and if it did. Weird. Oh, sources Twitch audio. I don't know why that was there. Great. Weird. All I need is screen capture and mic as the audio, and then I also have my webcam here and this beautiful little show light chat. Thank you, Ben Myers, again. All right. Cool. I've got the local shindig running. Oops. Whoa. Whoa. What is this? Is that new? I haven't seen that before. Type error lint utils dot create linter is not a function. That's weird. I do love finding bugs. Oh yeah, we got one of these days I'm going to clean these up. We got some validate DOM nesting complaints. Let's just clear all this stuff out. Type error. This is not a function. Love it. Love to see bugs. So we got weblinter.ts line. What is this? Why is it not? Yep. Weblinter.ts line 7. I need to prettify it. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I think I need to build. That's what it is. Whenever I pull from main, I have a 25% chance of failing to remember that I have to yarn install and also build. Okay, so I'm rebuilding everything. All right. What am I doing here today? I'm not actually intending to write any new features or fix any bugs. What I wanted to do is write some tests. Websites. Here we go. I got a playwright config, and where are my tests? Here we go. This is the only test we have so far that's an end-to-end test for the website. It does two things. It navigates to the roots page, the index, and then it analyzes the page with Axe, which is one of the really popular good standard end-to-end accessibility test tools. By end-to-end, I mean it looks at HTML. So I guess maybe end-to-end isn't always the right term, but it's an accessibility analyzer. It looks at HTML and yells at you if there's something wrong. It can also include CSS in there. But I want to go to the playground. Is there describe? Does Cypress have a describe? I guess not. Anyway, let's add an accessibility test for the playground. Now, I've not really used the Playwright extension for VS Code much. So let's just see what happens when I run this. And Here we go. A UI test. That's a good call. Yeah, I like it. UI test. So it's loading localhost 3000. It's thinking about it. Go. Oh, and it passed. So it just leaves the browser. Okay. Cool. And what happens if I run the playground accessibility test? I hope this playground doesn't have accessibility issues. What I really want to do today is get to adding end-to-end tests for the playground's behavior. That when you type code in and do stuff there. Yay, no issues. Okay, great. All right, so let's see. Playground usage. So wait page. I feel like a before all and nope. Okay. Let me just look this up actually. Close that. Playground before all. Oh, not playground, playwright. Playwright describe block. Alright, so I got this random article on this site that seems very sketch. I'm sure these images are not accessible. Yep, there we go. I hate giving them ad space, but you know what? I'm already here. That's not only. I'm not even going to post this in the chat. Oh, test.describe. Okay, that's cool. Annotations. Describe. Oh yeah, I should have just gone to the playwright site and looked up describe. Here we go. So test.describe playground. I actually kind of like this. I've never seen another test framework use test.describe or something. Test accessibility, test usage before each. Async await page.go2. Yeah, I love how type safe playwright is. I like how it kind of plays better with TypeScript than a lot of other testing designs in code. For example, just v-test or v-test. I like how you take in the page and how test.describe and stuff is imported always. Just and similar, you have this magical floating jest global that people have only started to recently move away from. And I really like how, unlike Cypress, the page is a parameter to each test or the for each or similar. In Cypress, there's this magical floating CY that you can use. You have a training for it. Ooh, if you want to link that training in the chat, that would be great. Yeah, I really like Playwright. Every time I switch to a new testing framework, it feels like it's significantly better than the previous. I feel like this is 10x principle, right? That's the name of this thing. 10x principle. You should set targets. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. 10x rule. There's this rule in things where if you want to do something differently than everyone else and make something new, you should do it 10 times better than them. I don't know if that's a codified thing anywhere, but I feel like the jump for me from, for example, using Selenium WebDriver towards Test Cafe was a 10x improvement. Then Test Cafe to Cypress felt like a 10x. Then Cypress to Playwright feels like a 10x to me. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at these. Love this. Awesome, thank you. Plugin info support. Shout out. Cool. Okay, test works. So what I want to do is, let's think. I want to type some code in the playground. Type some code in. Make sure, some valid code. Make sure the, you know what? I'll just type some code in the playground. That's valid. Make sure it still says all is okay. Oh, you know what? Enable a lint rule. Make sure it still says all okay. Change the code to violate the lint rule. Make sure it now says the error or the complaint. Oh, that's such an interesting comparison. Playwright is a testing tool for devs. Cypress is a testing tool for testers. Can you say more? That's fascinating. I love succinct, good ways of describing stuff like that. That's really cool. Press the fix button to fix. Make sure the code is updated and it says all is okay. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to be doing today. Also, I'm realizing I'm kind of far away from it. I'm just gonna lean forward. Sorry if these audio levels are shifting on you. I am mobile and remote. Okay. Okay, I hate not paying the cat tax, but I don't know if you can hear this. My in-laws' cats are weird and less friendly than mine. So I've got one coming here yelling at me. Her shouts actually sound like a bad imitation. Oh, she just ran away. Bad imitation of a cat. It's the weirdest thing. We call her Shady because she's suspicious. Yeah, anyway. No page object cluttering the Cypress object. Yeah, I can get behind that. It's a pity too because Cypress was so much better than everything else when it came out, but like there are these weird instabilities with it that take forever or haven't been even resolved yet. It's unfortunate. Ooh, welcome. Hey, I'm very new to testing. Was just looking into this the other day. Someone was comparing Just for Unit integration test and Selenium Puppeteer Playwright. Is Playwright the winner to learn for end-to-end tests? I would say yes. You can't choose wrong between Cypress and Selenium. Oh, sorry, Cypress and Playwright if you're just getting into it as a learning tool. However, I would definitely recommend Playwright over Cypress. I mean, they're both great tools, but I've just found the experience with Playwright to be a lot cleaner. It's more stable. The docs are a little better. I mean, both have great documentation sites. I mean, just looking at this experience right now, let's say I'm using the Playwright extension for VS Code. Clicking it here. Playwright, I agree with what Zwanzor is saying, that it just feels natural for developers. It's ergonomic, which means we like it. It's built for us well. Cypress feels a little more low level to me. I would not recommend directly using something like Puppeteer or Selenium, which is a lot even more low level, like directly manipulating the browser the way they do, because Playwright and Cypress, and even Test Cafe before them, give you a lot of nice utilities on top of directly manipulating things. Like they have built-in test retries, or excuse me, assertion retries. So like if you say, await for something to say this text, it'll wait for a configurable amount of time and keep retrying a certain number of milliseconds. Rather than in, say, Selenium, you have to build that yourself. Ooh, interesting. The Playwright docs don't promote the page object. Do they not? I feel like they recently switched to promoting it, like the page that comes in. Maybe they used to not. I remember this was a whole thing. And then for unit tests, yeah, Jest is pretty great. VTest is also pretty great. It's very similar to Jest, so either way it works. It's just VTest a little faster, but a little less fully featured. Ooh, Locator. Oh yeah, so you can use direct don't retry for me in Playwright, but yeah, it's definitely nice using like page.getByLabel. Here's another thing that Playwright really has started to get an edge on. The assertion syntax that they use is very good. Page.getByLabel, page.getByRole, getByText. This is actually inspired by a testing library, which is a really popular family of libraries for tests. Let me just put it here. Ooh. By Kenzie Dodds, I want to say. Yeah, and contributors. And these are really popular also for unit tests. And it's a good idea to go with them. Ooh, thank you, Swanzor, aka NicoJS, for this. I will read this later, keeping that on. Yeah, I love these GitHub issues that end up being really good discussions. Um, like going deep into like what are the pros and cons of different patterns. This is great stuff. But cool. So as an example of using all these things, let's start using the page object in Playwright to write some tests. So what I'm going to do is first focus on the element, or I'm going to say like page.type. Here we go. Let value string array. Let's just put that there. Aha. What is this complaining about? So I got lint rules already complaining. This is, by the way, an accidental product plug for TypeScript-ESLint. It's complaining promises must be weighted or other things. No floating promises because I forgot to write wait page.type. Here we go. Oh, expected 2 to 3 arguments. What are the other arguments? Oh, selector and then text. So what's my selector? The selector is going to be something that selects this text here. So what do I actually want to select? I'm actually going to go to the console and start trying to type these out. Document.query selector. Was it input? Ooh, let's query selector all to get all of them. There are 420 inputs on this page. First of all, blaze it. Second of all, why are there so many inputs on this page? What is happening? What is going on here? Reveal an elements panel. What? Where are these? What is going on? Where are these inputs? Oh man. Search results, search result description. Why are there so many search results? What? Okay, you know what? Type into Monaco Playwright. We use this library called Monaco for what do you call it? For our text input. Like this text input box is Monaco text editor. It's akin to CodeMirror, if you've heard of those. Monaco is fantastic. It's actually not just open source, but the code editor that's extracted from VS Code, it comes from VS Code, which is why this may look like VS Code to people. Theme. Feels to your dark, because I know someone will yell at me if I don't plug dark mode. LOL. Yeah. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, the one problem with Monaco is that it's a little complicated. It's pretty heavyweight. So, so what a lot of people do is like these weird little hacks where like you manually do things. It's fine. So let's see what happens when I just copy and paste. I don't need to screenshot. I do want to type in let value string. I don't know what meta key is. So let's see what happens when I play this. Should I pick vtest over jest? So I've actually started using vtest in some of my personal projects just for the speed of it, in like really small ones that don't need a lot of testing. However, I don't think that there's really a strong argument for one over the other on their own. Now, one strong argument for vtest is that it is a little faster, so if you have slow tests, that can be nice. But Jest has much more built-up community around it still. So, for example, if you want to use something like vtest, which is something like mutation testing, which is what Nico Swanzor works on, which is something that reruns your code. Reruns your tests after introducing bugs to your code to see which pieces of code, which bugs or mutations aren't caught by tests. Then I don't know that there's vtest. Honestly, is there going to be vtest support anytime soon in Striker, the mutation testing framework? Is that planned? I'm guessing I can just look that up. Feature request. I'll give it a +1. Why not? It's on the roadmap. It will take some time. Feel free to oh man, maybe this will be my next Striker contribution. Oh, that's Nico, +1 to what you did here. This is such a good open source strategy here. Someone asks how to do something. Instead of answering in the issue, which is a good thing in general, just add documentation to it. I want to support this new framework. Give me docs on how to do that. I love it. That's great. So let me just post this here. Yeah. It'll probably take me a little while to get to the point of contributing that, but you know, at some point in time, it would be nice. Cool. Yeah, a big community is definitely helpful when you're trying to learn something new. I will note though that the downside of using a long-standing popular thing like Jest is that sometimes the docs or the like community docs like Stack Overflow questions, Twitter posts, stuff like that get out of date. Jest has changed somewhat through its lifetime. It's been around for a lot of changes in the JavaScript ecosystem and has updated to account for them. So things like how to write a Jest config, you know, ESM modules, CJS, MJS, whatever, they look a little different. But I really don't think you can go wrong between Jest, VTest, or similar. If you're learning, it's honestly a good idea to learn two things at once. Not two things at once. Learn two things one after the other. That way, after getting familiar and comfortable with one thing, you can see how it compares and contrasts with the other thing. So if you choose one, learn it, great. If you have time, learn the other one. They're pretty similar. But all right, back to the work. I am pleased because, yay, my thing works. Let hello boolean. Although what's weird to me is this font looks different somehow. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, all right, so we've typed some valid code in the keyboard playground. So now I'm going to wait a second. Isn't there's a thing where you can record right from tests? Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go to localhost 3000 play, and of course it doesn't work. Come on. But like, what I really love for these new test things is that you can, come on, you can start typing stuff into your browser, and then it'll record what's happening as you do it and like write it into the test itself. Unfortunately, it doesn't. It's not working right now, so I'm gonna I'm gonna play the existing test to see. Maybe I was going to the wrong URL or something. My pleasure. How do you say this? Beyonce? Is this a Beyonce thing? Beyonce? Come on. All right. Record new. Come on. Come on, Playwright. Do your thing. Record new. Why is it not going to my local host? What is this crap? This is so frustrating. I don't know why it's not working. You know what? I can go to TypeScript-ESLint.io. Here we go. Playground. Console.log. Hi. There's some weird scroll issue going. I'll just refresh. Bonsai, just 1B. Thank you. Good to know. All right. So I'm going to the ESLint config. Let me zoom in a couple times. It's not letting me zoom. Great. Fine. Oh, I don't want to. God dang it. Okay. Let's enable the array type rule to. Jeez, this is painful. Monaco. Ugh, what has happened? Oh boy. Okay. Error. All right. Refresh the page. Let value string array. And it's good. Okay. So let's see what my test looks like after all that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, a lot of clicking when I was struggling. So yeah, the problem with Monaco is that it's kind of complicated and it really messes with bonsai. Oh my god, like the tree. Thank you. I did not get that at all. Very good, very good. I've always wanted one of those. Like to really like do it right. Like have one, groom it over the years. I think that'd be nice. I also have cats, so no plans. Those friends are vicious. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to delete a bunch of stuff I didn't need. All right. I want to go to the thing where I changed. Hey, this is me going to the blog. Okay, so I want to go to the thing where I change the ESLint config. So I'm getting the tab that has the name ESLint RC. That's the juice. Okay, so now I'm at the code part that I want. Don't need that thing. So enable a rint rule, which is go to the ESLint rule tab. Go to Monaco editor. I'm gonna call this. You know, I'm gonna write a utility function. Write in editor. Let value string. Let's add missing function declaration. Fun fact, you can do that. VS Code, I just used a shortcut because I'm all fancy. Text. Here we go. Oh, and I need to take in the page. Let's take in the page. Await. Here we go. Another quick fix. And for parameter types, yes, page. And our lint rules require that you manually declare return types. Fine, whatever. Okay. .nth0, is there no first? Okay, I don't know why nth0. Okay. Rate write in editor page. And what did I actually type here? Let's put a JSON.stringify. Rules, TypeScript-ESLint, array type, error, null 4. So that's going to prettify that for me. Very nice. I think this is actually going to break in some way because there's already text in the editor by default. So I'm going to actually await Monaco editor or page.keyboard. Is there a way to like select all? And then await page keyboard dot down. Is there like a delete? Ooh, here we go. Examples of keys are nice. Down delete and up delete. All right, so how do I playwright select all? Locator.fill? Locator.fill. Okay. Page.fill. Oh no, I can just do. Wait, is there like a down? Like control A. Control A up, control and up A. Is this how to select? I want to see what happens actually if I do this, because I'm on a Mac and I don't know like what is the Mac situation with controls. Is that going to select all? So let's see what happens. By the way, if anyone knows how to select all in Playwright and can save me more debugging or reading through docs, let me know. That would be great. Also, if you know any other Playwright gotchas or good things to do, I would love to hear them. Wow, that kind of worked almost. Now why is this complaining? Oh, because I didn't need the key there. Use label. No, what? Man, Monaco is really not happy with Playwright today. Is this like the wrong quote style or something? Like, what happens if I go to TypeScript-ESLint.io/play and open these up next to each other? Sorry that it's so zoomed in. Rules, TypeScript-ESLint, array type, error. Why is this complaining? Also, why is the font all weird? What is happening? Let's go to the playground. Ooh, that's zoomed out. Yeah, this is happy here. Weird. I'm just really new to Playwright, so I thought I am using the page object, but if there's something I'm doing off or different, let me know. I would love to love to improve. I'm guessing that I just need to wait after Control A. Also, it'd be nice if you could press multiple keys down. Await page dot wait for timeout. To do so, I'm gonna wait half a second here because I know Monaco can sometimes be slow in updating for things. But I'm gonna just to do wait until the text is gone. Like a better thing in general for tests, instead of waiting a fixed amount of time, is to wait for some programmable thing on the page is better. The problem with waiting for a certain amount of time is that it slows your test down, and then if you're running in a slow environment like CI, the page might oh boy, didn't fix it. The page might like take too long anyway because it's slow. All right. So this is clearly not working because I'm using the editor weird. Oh boy. So the problem is I don't want to go through this whole thing on stream. Page.locator instead of page.dollar. Okay. Favor await expect locator over expect await locator. Ooh, this feels like a set of lint rules that we could enable. One of my family members is asking if he can join. Ooh, let me. Vinny, are you on Facebook?
Yeah, Stacy is.
Okay, I'll message the link to Stacy.
Okay.
I expect to see you in the chat.
I won't say anything.
Okay.
I got nothing good to say. That's what they always say. I'll go get her phone and find it.
I'm so excited about this. I'm getting my family members. Sorry, I'm gonna in the recording edit out. I just showed a DM on Twitter, but nothing private there. All right. Oh, I didn't know this. On Twitch, they like show this like little progress bar when it's live. Awesome. I'm in such a good mood. All right. Cool. Sorry, let me behind the scenes, I'm getting my family members on my Twitch. This is great. Oh boy, I don't know who is. Anyway, about the page object. That's what the page was looking for. Interesting. This.page.close. Got it. So you use the host locator. Super interesting. I'm actually gonna table this for now and instead say I'm gonna go to TypeScript-ESLint.io, go to the I got the playground here, and I'm gonna actually copy the URL instead. Because we store the states in the URL of the playground. So I can get away with not knowing this stuff because I can go to the ESLint.rc, TypeScript-ESLint.io, array type error, and have that in the URL. Okay. So instead of write an editor with this stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and await page.go_to. All right. To have the actual actions work. And let's see what happens when I go there. Awesome. So this seems to work. And if I go to the and the ESLint RC doesn't have what is happening? I go to the same URL in my browser. Did my local host just crash? What? What? Wasn't I running yarn start? Whoa. The weirdest thing. What? All right, so if I put in the ESLint here, array type error. What? Now it's complaining again. There's some weird corruption thing. I don't know what's happening. Man, I hate it when things don't work, don't you? Why is it giving me these complaints? What is... Oh my god, that's in code, not ESLint-RC. Okay. Well, no, it's in ESLint-RC. Is there some console error or something? It's getting this create linter is not a function. I thought I fixed that. I ran yarn build. Yarn starts. Is our playground... Oh, I swear to God, if the playground is broken... How embarrassing. All right, setting this up. Oh yeah, the playground in the URL thing is nice. But what I'm really confused about is why is it not working? Anyway, another thing actually I'm just realizing I don't even need to go through Monaco for this. I can go through the visual editor. I can type in, I can click the visual editor here. And I think I can actually just do this manually. So also to do, why is page go to not working? What is happening? If I go to await page.click selector, what is it? Ugh, how do I get the... I'm just going to go through the Cypress record new. TypeScript-ESLint.io, playground. If I click ESLint-RC and then click the visual editor and then click array type and then dismiss that, that should enable it there. Nice. Okay, so clicking the ESLint-RC tab, clicking the visual editor button, get the label that has the... Oh, nice. Oh, look at us. We did good with our accessibility. So this label actually does label the checkmark. That's great. Array type. Ooh, we almost nailed our accessibility. We gotta add a space there. Okay. So this is pretty great. All right. So we click on the tab that has the name ESLint-RC. We click on the button that has the name Visual Editor. We click on the label that's array type, blah, 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 and check it because it's the checkbox. And then we close that modal. Awesome. Love me some accessible tests. However, it is slightly upsetting to me that these labels are not great. So I'm going to say I should add, I should add a space after this or something. Yeah, I'll just add a space in this span here. It's the search result name. Search result name. Here we go. Oh, this is interesting. Why is it item.label and br line break? All right, so what I'm doing here is if there is a label for the item, then I'm adding a space after the name. Or you know what, I'll just add a space there before the label. So now this should be better for accessibility, which is one of the great benefits of writing tests on your labels and other accessibility attributes, because it makes sure that you have good accessibility. So I can put a space there, and you know what? Let's test that this actually works. Let's run the test. Yeah, it's one of the big reasons why I'm such a fan of testing libraries approach, of having you do things like get by role tab instead of get by ID or get the nth element on the page, whatever. And run test. And here we go. What is happening? Oh, you know what it is? That's why things were working before. Um, I have it set up so that Playwright knows to start up a localhost server, but that means that every time I run a test, it then has to wait for the server to start. So in my Playwright config, I'm gonna set reuse, or where is it? Config.webserver pqr reuse existing server, not process.m.ci. Cool. So now if I go to the test, why does it keep on collapsing this? Why would I ever want that? Okay. And here we go. So we go to the ESLint tab, we click visual editor. Nope. What's happening? It's waiting for the thing with the label, but it never actually opens. Here, I'm gonna stop the test. Shh, shush, 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 shush. Shush, 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 shush. I'm gonna debug. I know, right? That's another reason why you want to use something like Cypress or Playwright over Raw, Selenium, or Puppeteer, because it manages your server for you. So you don't have to constantly wrestle with setting up a server. Okay, so on my editor, I've got the breakpoint hit. So I'm pausing the test so I can do things in the code and look at the code. So I'm in the ESLint RC tab. Now I await page.getByRole.click. So now it should have clicked this visual editor, but it doesn't seem to have done anything. I'm clicking it now. You're seeing my nice little Mac suggestions. So that's unfortunate. So why is clicking this editor button not doing anything? That's annoying. Maybe I should run these tests against... Yeah, I'm just going to go to the production website. And I'm going to set the label back. Because honestly, the tests just aren't working locally. It's very upsetting. All right. Now if I play, maybe it'll be working better on the production website, not my local shindig. Nice, look at that. I got it updated. All right, so let's go back to code. Oh no, I want it to still say all is okay, because this all is okay message, oops, should still be on the page. Await page, get by text, all is okay. I think that's what it says. Yep. Why is it complaining that it's a non-promise? Dot exists. How do you Playwright check that text exists on the page? I guess I could check the selector for the stuff and make sure that that still exists. Where's my production website? Okay. So what is this element? Admonition, blah blah blah. I kind of just want to make sure that the thing exists. Oh wait, is there like a page dot exists? Use a locator and then page wait for. How would I do that? A locator and then dot wait for. I should really learn Playwright locators. All right. Locator dot ooh. Oh wait, no, this is the like all the locators you could possibly want. Okay, learn more about locators. Locators are the central piece of Playwright's auto-waiting and retryability. In a nutshell, locators represent a way to find elements on the page at any moment. Great. Page.getByText. So I can await expect to be visible. Ah, there we go. I like this. I like this a lot. Cool. So the locator is page.getByText. That returns a locator, and then we await expecting it to be visible. So this will retry it for being visible for some specified amount of time. Okay. Great. Thank you. Appreciate the help, Swanzor. All is okay. And it's still complaining on any value. I need to import the expect from playwrights. Great. Okay. Collapse that. Okie dokie. Now I'm going to go back to code. What is the name of the tab? Code. I'm flipping by quickly. It's this fella here, code. And then I'm gonna await write in editor. See if this actually works this time. Let value array string. I would like it if this works. Oh, gotta pass it the page. That is one annoyance of proper programming. In Cypress, you could just use this floating Cypress CY object. All right, let's see what happens here. Come on, Chrome. Come on, Chrome. Oh my gosh, look at this. So we've actually got some kind of weird existing bug in the site, I think, where scroll doesn't work very well. But this is great. So now I want to make sure that this text is on the page. Love it. So I want to assert for that text. Oops, I'm scrolling too much here. I want just this friend, and the text is this friend. Oops, gotta use fancy string quotes. We're now making sure it says the complaint awaits page.get by label fix.click. I'm pretty sure that's how you do it. And now it should say all is okay. All is okay. Great. And there should be on the page, someone has text let value : string. I don't know if this will work because it's split up across different elements, but we'll see how it works there. So let value string. All right, let's see what happens. Come on. Playwrights. Click the fix. Oh, complaining. Error, strict mode violation. Oh, there are multiple friends. That here it resolved to 3 elements. So I want specifically the fix. That's, I wish this was more responsive. Okay, I want specifically this fix here. How do I? So in the extension there's a pick locator thingy. Get by role button name fix. All right, let's try this again. See what happens. Get by role button name fix. Please work. Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a great error message. You have 3 things. Right. All right, so this test works. Wow, this is great. I've been here less than an hour and I got it to work. Yeah, let me go back to that error message. I just want to enthuse about it for just a moment. It was fix. Because this is really great. Let's go to the test. because I just like skimmed the error message and realized, okay, I've seen this before. It's probably that there are multiple things. But what they're actually saying here, first of all, they're showing you a history of your tests. I didn't even need to go back. I could have just seen the error message from previous tests. Oh, that's so nice. But ignoring that, error strict mode violation. I love that it's strict mode by default for me. Maybe I set that up before. Did I set up anything about strict? Nope. Strict mode is good. Always be strict. Oh god, where's the where's my thing? There it is. Okay. Error, strict mode violation, internal label equals fixed, resolved to 3 elements, and it shows you the HTML the elements, or like a summary of the HTML, aka playwright selector to find the thing. That's so cute. I don't know where these are coming from. I have no clue what's going on there, but I'm just happy that it showed me such a nice error. So great. This makes me happy. I'll just close that panel. Okay. So let me just... So first we type in some valid code. I'm gonna delete all this stuff. I didn't even end up needing to type in the Monaco editor in the rule thing. I just used the visual friend that we have. All right, so first we type some valid code in the playground, then we enable a lint rule. We make sure it still says all is okay. We change the code to violate the lint rule. Make sure it now says the complaint. Press the fix button to fix that complaint. And then we make sure that the code is updated and it says all is okay. Let's run again. Come on, Chromium. Oop. Haha. Sorry, yeah, this is the Playwright extension. I never actually showed going for it. But in the extensions view, if you look up Playwright, it's going to be the first one there. Got a... What does this mean? The little 65 milliseconds. What is activation? Oh, that's cool. They show you the penalty for installing this on startup. Oh, that's cool. People have like useful test snippets and stuff. I don't know why they're duplicate people. But I've seen people do this. I don't know if this is malicious or just an older extension or what. So not necessarily a bad thing, but like there are always like a bunch of almost the same extensions for these test runners. Why does it? Oh, it's been updated and I can reload. Okay, fine, whatever. Would you split these out to be multiple tests since you're testing multiple things? What a great question. I have gone back and forth on this, and I think the community preference has gone back and forth. Back in the day, I remember reading a lot of pages about how end-to-end tests, similar to, what do you call it, unit tests, would recommend splitting things up. And I did that for a while, and it's nice because, similar to unit tests, you want only the things that are failing to be or the tests that are testing now incorrect behavior to be failing, so you have a granular view of what's wrong. However, end-to-end tests are inherently slower and more flaky than unit tests. So if you have 10 tests instead of 5, you may have something like double the chance of flake. So I remember the Cypress docs switched to saying don't split things up, do larger long-run tests because of that. So I'd say, for me, this feels like a thing I'll just write one test for. Like we're testing the fixed behavior and stuff. And then I'll have a different test for accessibility. That's kind of where I am now. That for end-to-end tests, I do like a family of related things. Like one flow will be one test. But yeah, I'm not happy with this. I don't like either way fully. I don't know. What really annoys me is I wish, especially with end-to-end tests, there was more granular failure reporting than just pass or fail. I wish we had a way of describing your test passed these cases but not those. However, that wouldn't solve for something early in the test fails and we can't continue. So I don't know. No great answer. Yeah, back to write in editor. See, what we saw, I think, in the test. Oh, did I close Chromium? Oops. Must have closed when the VS Code restart happened. Oh my god, why is this collapsing? I have only one group of tests. Also, it made these files for me, but I don't want them, so I'll just delete. I think what I saw was that we didn't wait long enough to delete everything, so there was still text on the page or in the Monaco editor when I typed. So, I'm just gonna test it. What happens if we wait for timeout 100? Okay, still seems to work. What happens if I do 1 millisecond wait? Will that still work? I just want it to fail at this point. Fail for me. Okay, I guess I don't need this. We'll see. Select all existing text and delete it first. Okay. What I like doing in my comments sometimes, I'll use ... to signify that they're linked, and then type in the text. Cool. I like how it shows you how long the tests take to run. That's cute. Yeah, look at this. I love watching tests run. I feel so powerful. It's working for me. It's working. Yeah. All right, cool. So this I feel good about. The test runs. Oh yeah, now I have to switch to /play. Let's see what happens. Because I wanted it running locally. Please work. Oh, thank you for the sub gift. I appreciate you, Nico. Whoa. I don't know if you saw it on Twitch. There's this weird little visual bug. So we're waiting now for this. Like, this is the bug I saw before. I don't know why. I tried clicking Visual Editor and nothing's happening. The playground is broken. The playground is like weird and broken locally. So something is spooky here. I don't know what's going on. But I don't know what would have gone wrong. You know what I'm gonna do? Yarn clean. So I'm just gonna clean everything. RM, RF, node, modules. So I'm just gonna delete all my installed stuff, and then I'm gonna yarn, which should yarn build also. We'll see what happens here. I remember when I was really impressed that Yarn put this nice little progress bar in the bottom, but I think they could make it prettier. PMTM has a really, really nicely done installation little display in the command line. By the way, we use NX, which is a workflow orchestrator, build orchestrator, akin to Turbo repo. So our builds are normally pretty fast. All right. So I'm going to go back to Playwright and see what happens. I wonder if it's that like the page is cached. Oh, weird. Guess you're gonna have to do another. Yeah, why is this page? Are the scripts not loading? What is? Oh my god, I think it's that it's cached. It's got to be that it's cached. It's just so weird. What is happening with these tests? I don't know. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna yarn start and then run the test. Maybe running my local server will be better for it. Go to the playground, ESLint. Yeah, this is. Oh wait, no. Oh, here we go. Now we got errors. It's gone. It's this lint utils create linter thing. I don't know what's happening. Some weird shenanigan, but whatever. I'm just gonna send this up as a PR. So I'm gonna git checkout B, E to E, playground usage, status. chore website. Oh wait, no, this will be like a test website. Add playwright test for playground. Linting. The weirdest thing. Anyway, this is one thing you got to do as a developer sometimes. If something isn't working, you gotta work around it. So let's delete all these tabs. Got the issue here, 5579. Address is an open issue. I can't wait until GitHub enables PR forms, so I don't have to manually edit this text. Adds a playground test that asserts or types regular or passing code and it enables a rule. No issues. Changes the code to fail the rule and then auto fixes the code to pass again. Yeah. Cool stuff. Well, that makes me happy. And I hope that this passes. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Also fixes an accessibility label oddity with the label with labels in the visual drop down for rules. There's no space between rule name and description currently. So I'm gonna, one cute little thing I've been doing for a little while on my PRs is I'll use the diff thing to show what I'm changing. So like diff syntax highlighting is pretty nifty. Oh wait, no, it's the other one. It's this one. Oh wait, page get by label check. Get out. Shut up. Get out of here. Playwright. Okay, yeah. So I'll show it in the text. I'll duplicate the line and then use a minus and plus to show the difference. So before it was no space and now it is a space. Here we go. Bonsai, welcome to Twitch. Yeah, I don't personally use Twitch much myself, but I've been meaning to. I'm always trying to get into new forms of learning how people do things and hanging out with folks. This year it was really tech podcast is what I got into. Maybe next year I'll just really double down on Twitch. Oh yeah, no worries. I'll also post this in the stream manager. Oh. The link to the PR. So if you quote reply it, oops, come on, Chrome. Quote reply, it'll. I swear this used to work. Quote reply. Well, anyway, it is triple backticks in Markdown starts a code block, and then you can say a language, and diff is allowed as a language. It's a little annoying that you can't do like diff parentheses ts. That doesn't work. But yeah, if you put a minus or plus at the beginning of the line. By the way, I'm using Command-Shift-P to switch between write and preview. Oh my god, wait, that... Oh wait, I think they just ignore whatever's after a space. Yeah, so minus is the red, the deletion, plus is the green, the addition. Voila. Cool stuff. Unfortunately, we gotta wait for the build to run to know whether the website tests are doing. Now it's installing Playwright browsers, which, by the way, I remember seeing an issue somewhere about how their guides recommend not caching this, but like it's already been over 20 seconds of installation. I feel like we should really have images with it cached or pre-built already. Like this is annoying. 30 seconds plus of installation for this thing before the tests even run. That's too slow for me. Livestream7, what's up? Diff with syntax highlighting. I'm sure that's a pain, yeah. We wrote the tests. I just posted in the chat. PR 6080 on TypeScript-ESLint. Uh, Oop, I don't need this space and blank line there. So yeah, this is a nice little fix up or like addition for local developments. Um, not not strictly necessary for this PR, but really nice when working locally. Assuming you're, I'm not going to be snarky about my breaking, but I will put the playwright.dev docs on Vue's existing server. As a link here. How long ago did I start coding? Today I started at about 10:30 a.m. my time. It's now 11:42. But I first started coding. I did a little bit of HTML, CSS in high school. I was really active on forums. I was in a Halo clan, a few Halo clans, stuff like that. So I would Photoshop signatures, like the little banner images. I did a little bit of JavaScript, but really like I first learned to code for like logic stuff was in high school with Java. Took two Java classes in high school. I'm 29 now, so this high school I graduated 2011. I started learning C++. Really, that's like when I really learned to code in college. And then I started doing more JavaScript stuff like sophomore year, so like 2012, 2013. My first internship was the summer of 2012. Sorry, the first coding internship, like one where I really coded as part of it. My first job was middle of 2015, and I've been an independent open source maintainer person since the beginning of this year. Ooh, started to code a couple years ago. All right, so you've been doing it a little while. That's awesome. Um, when I was at Codecademy, we would see these fantastic stories from people who were doing completely different ways of coding from each other and from us. Like I think I was like kind of an oddity in Codecademy because Codecademy so directly and intentionally hired people who like went to boot camps or started coding later in life. Like we had a bunch of folks who were like 50, 60, 70 even learning to code. It was really nice to see. But it is nice to start early. You kind of get used to it. You have a lot of like cultural context. Like a lot of code examples use cartoons from the 90s. I'll admit I wrote a bunch of those. So any Codecademy course that references like Fairly Odd Parents was probably me. Ooh, I think I'm going to learn Next.js for my next project. So it'll be a Next.js plus TypeScript project, maybe style with Tailwind. That does sound awesome. +1. I really like Next.js. I think it's fantastic. Next and Remix are the future of web frameworks for a while. They do a lot for you. Kind of like how Playwright does a lot of like test setup and assertions and stuff for you. A really big fan of that. Big fan of TypeScript over here. I should plug my book. If anyone wants to learn TypeScript, learningtypescript.com. I wrote that. And I think it's a pretty darn good book. I'm on my phone here. .com. Boop. Shout out to me. One thing I found myself was testing, which I feel like isn't a good thing. You know what? There are a lot of things that people say you should do with big air quotes. Like you should learn TypeScript, you should test, you should learn accessibility if you're doing UI. And those are all true in a sense. Like it is a good thing to test. It is a good thing to use TypeScript. If you're pushing something on the internet that some other people are going to use, you really should make it accessible. But if you're just learning, I feel like I realize you've been coding for a couple of years, so maybe not applicable to you. But like when you're learning, it's hard to see all these strong recommendations and demands and feel like I'm doing it right. Like I don't like how when people learn to code, sometimes it can feel like there's just a million different things you should learn, and you're bad until you know all of them. Like it's all in due time. Some of them are more time sensitive than others. If you make a website, it should be accessible. But like testing, it's a good practice, but if you're just doing side projects or you're working on experimental stuff, it's fine to not test. That being said, if you join a team that has code that's supposed to live a while, yes, absolutely, +1 should definitely test. Ooh, I was spending some time getting familiar with JavaScript before moving into frameworks. +1, if you have the time, I definitely recommend take things one at a time. Someone mentioned to learn Svelte before React. Do I have an opinion or Svelte kit? No, I don't. Not a strong opinion. Oh yeah, if you're working on a mutation testing framework, definitely want to learn testing. Definitely. Something about testing is a good idea to learn when you're working on testing. There are a bajillion different things you can learn when it comes to any part of programming, and there are a bajillion different things you can learn when it comes to UI frameworks. React, Svelte, Angular, Solid, all these different things. Svelte kits, or Create React app, or Next for React. I say pick one and just go for it. It doesn't really matter, because similar to tests, you want to learn if you have the time, it is a good idea to learn a few different things anyway. Everyone learns and thinks differently, so there's no guarantee that whatever is most popular with the people you are learning from or talking to will be the thing that you like the most. Web components are another one, which may eventually be used and loved by everyone. So yeah, I'd say learn a few things. I really like React. React's really popular, and like the most consumer jobs are in there. Yeah, if you want to learn Svelte, that's great too. I like learning things that are super different just to get that contrasting viewpoint. So like React and Svelte are great because they are very different ways of approaching somewhat similar problems. Also, yeah, web components are great because they're so different from React. But yeah, you really can't go wrong. Just choose any two things. Even two things that are relatively similar, like React and Preact or React and Solid. There's still two different ways of approaching the same problem. You get to compare and contrast, see the different options. Yeah. By the way, I would really plug Solid.js. I think it's a fantastic thing, and especially if you're a React developer, it can really make you appreciate how much simpler Solid's approach is. So like one thing I've been wanting to learn is Solid. Like I've kind of learned it, but I haven't gone too deep. So like Solid.js, and then Astro is fantastic. Astro is not a direct competitor to things like Solid or Preact or whatever. It is it's like a framework higher level competitor, so it competes with like Next.js or Remix or Docusaurus. But just like how everyone does things differently, Astro is kind of more focused on the concept of islands, meaning each different part of your website can be done with different things. And Astro has this really cool approach where it super duper optimizes your content and also lets you use whatever UI frameworks you want. So like you can build an Astro site that has Angular on the header, React in the body, and Svelte, I think, in the footer. Like, where is there? There's a great blog page that lets you, oh yeah, use React, Preact, Vue, Lit, all these other different things. Lit is great for web components. So yeah, Astro is pretty cool. But yeah, before Astro, I would generally recommend learning like one or two things, like React and Solid or something. Ooh, yeah. I don't know how it is in other places. Someone once told me Vue's popular in China. I don't have a source on that, but yeah, in the U.S. at least, React is far and away the biggest one for consumer jobs. I think business enterprise stuff tends to go more towards Angular, but yeah. State management and change detection in React. Ooh, which article? Sorry. Um, which article to post here? I don't have a source for Vue popular in China. I would just Google that because again, this is like someone um, mentioned to me a while ago. Oh, I guess it is. Yeah, I'm not even going to post this. I would say just Google and do your own research because my research is not fleshed out and I don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry. Um, but yeah, React state management for a while was kind of gnarly, but React hooks, which are now like a few years old, like they predate COVID, are pretty great. And actually, the beta React docs are some of the best docs the world has ever seen for UI library. So let me just post those there. Oh yeah, astro.build. Oh, and then HPS. Astro.new has a bunch of starters for Astro. Um, yeah, so React hooks I really like. That's great stuff. Um, One thing that's been kind of biting React is it's in the current round of UI frameworks that are really good, but it's been one of the older ones. It was around a lot earlier than say Preact or Solid. Like Solid's really new. So React pioneered a lot of things such as hooks, and then as a result learned the lessons you can only learn when something is popular and used by people first. Like one downside of hooks is that they can get kind of complex when you use them wrong, or even if you use them right sometimes. And people overuse hooks sometimes, or like overuse in particular the use effect hook. It's a whole other thing. And then that's only something you can really predict or understand when you see a lot of people using it and get lessons there. So React's had to learn the hard way. So some people don't like React because they associate it with those hard learned lessons, but I still love React. I think it's a fantastic framework. Ooh, I watched your YouTube video setting up ESLint with TypeScript and Prettier. Thank you, appreciate it. You know, this is a Q&A, and I'm here for it. If anyone wants to see me write some more tests, I'm sorry. We just wrote the test I wanted to write, and it's passing. So yeah, no, I'm happy to Q&A. This makes me happy. I want to chat. That's what I'm here for. If I get a chance to see the question on Twitter, yeah, let me look at this. Oop. Oh no. What is the question? You want to just post it here so people can see? I don't want to, if it's a DM, I don't want to show my DMs again by accident. One thing I'll note is this may not be what you're asking about, but one common situation people have is they will enable a bunch of ESLint rules and they will enable Prettier. So I'm going to post an article from the TypeScript-ESLint site. Prettier and ESLint should not be competitors. Ooh, I see more questions coming in. I'll try to answer. There is a difference between a formatter and a linter. A formatter is a tool that verifies and corrects whitespace issues like semicolons, spacing new lines. They're really fast and they're generally pretty opinionated, even though some of them can be configured a lot, because they just care about whitespace, the stuff that doesn't actually change the meaning of your code. When a formatter runs in your code, it doesn't change how the code runs, unless there's a bug, of course. A linter is something that's much more powerful, like ESLint. It's tools that verify and correct logical, non-whitespace style and logic issues, such as naming consistency or bug detection. But unfortunately, for a while, people added rules to ESLint that checked formatting, because ESLint, by many years, predates Prettier. So now you have this situation where you'll have ESLint yelling at you about your errors, and you'll have ESLint yelling at you about your formatting and Prettier. But that's not good, because Prettier is much better at it. ESLint is architecturally not a great formatter, nor should it be. So I recommend using ESLint config Prettier, which just completely disables any ESLint rules that are unnecessary or might conflict when you use Prettier. However, it's confusing because there's also ESLint plugin Prettier, which runs Prettier inside ESLint as an ESLint rule and surfaces its complaints as ESLint rules. I do not recommend this. I have never seen a situation where I like this thing. So I'm going to give this a thumbs down on this one. This has like been one of the bane of my existence hill to die on things for a while. Don't use... if you have a situation where it works for you, please let me know. But in general, I would strongly recommend not using ESLint plugin Prettier and instead use the similarly named but different ESLint config Prettier. Ta-da. So that might be why you got double errors. It's why a lot of people get them. If not, let me know. Back to hooks. I remember one mistake I kept making with useEffect was using it to resize screen on mobile instead of media queries. Not something I'd recommend doing. Yeah, for sure. useEffect, for those who haven't used it, is a React hook. So a thing that you can use to add logic to your components, logic or state, your UI. And it runs some piece of logic whenever something changes or some things change. It's generally better to, if possible, move UI logic to CSS. So like instead of using JavaScript to make an element half the size of your screen, use CSS, or like making it responsive, you can do that with media queries. And then there's this fantastic, oh geez, what is the name of the really popular hooks library? React Use. This thing has a lot of like really solid and tested by the communities hooks. So like there is if you really need it, media query hook here that you can use to track the state of a CSS media query. So use this, which may or may not use a use effect internally, but like these hooks are tested. These are really good. Would recommend. And then only use effect as a very last of resort. Oh yeah, React. It's like the Lodash of React hooks. It's fantastic. I really like React Use. It's got all sorts of great ones. Things for, I didn't even know half of these features were available on the web platform, like your battery. Oh, I guess the battery manager API, whatever. Anyway, yeah, a lot of really good ones. Use window scroll, use window size. Those are really nice. Use measure, which measures an HTML element with the resize observer API. Some of this stuff you can do it on your own. It's just so annoying. One more thing before I answer the GitHub Copilot thing. I have a blog, which I'll post here. And I recently wrote an article on how I apply to conferences with an FAQs section on it. And in that FAQs section, I mentioned some of the recent favorite conference talks I've seen, with a link to a really, really good talk from David Korshad on use effect. On why it is a reasonable thing to use, but not in most situations people use it for. And the gist of the talk is that use effect should really be used for synchronization. Let me see if I can get that slide up. Yeah, it's synchronization. If you have something outside of React that needs to then inform your React stuff, that's when you use effect. Not to whatever. Like, well, I guess watch the talk for all the reasons why people use effect that are not great. So yeah, great talk there. Goodbye use effect, it's called. But okay, where was the other question? I see some juicy ones coming up. What is your opinion about using GitHub Copilot or similar to learn programming? I haven't thought of it for that specific use case. I think GitHub Copilot's really exciting. I think it's great for helping people with code snippets and just like helping speed up time. There was a really good tweet from, who's the Replit person? Who founded Replit? What is the name? They had a really good tweet thread on this. Oh yeah, Amjad Masad. Fantastic person to follow on Twitter, or if Amjad ever goes to Mastodon, I don't know if they have. Yes, great thread on AI and programming. I'm putting it in the chat. We're continuously making it faster and faster to program, not just at the small scale with like good linting and good testing tools, but also at the AI level where soon, not today, maybe not next year, but soon eventually AI will be able to do a lot of your lower level tasks for you, and coordinating AIs will become a reasonable thing to do in order to get stuff done. So I'm excited about that. For learning programming, I don't know. It scares me because sometimes GitHub Copilot is just wrong. And it's really important when you're learning how to program not to go down the wrong path and get bad patterns early. So I don't know that GitHub Copilot is really well framed right now. I wish there was a learning version of it that explicitly says, hey, this may or may not be it. If you try it, let us know if it works, type thing. So I don't know. I think it's a good idea. I would love to know if any of you have seen folks use GitHub Copilot while they are learning code. Once you already know how to code, though, I think it is really nice for showing you snippets of like how to use a library or how to use the command line. Like that's really nice. But I did a stream recently, ET online with Nick Taylor, where we used this he had GitHub Copilot, And at some points, it did really do a good job of suggesting some of the advanced APIs, or not advanced, but like the non-trivial APIs that he wanted to use, and others kind of fell apart. It suggested wrong stuff. So yeah, I don't know. In summary, I think it's really good, and it has a lot of potential also for learning, but I'm not sure I would use it personally to learn to code. Great question. What are your thoughts, Swanzor? And everyone else. Okay, back to lint stage. I have lint stage set up to run on pre-commit hook using Husky. Lint stage, the pre-commit hook. So for those who haven't seen this, you can run code whenever you get commits. Lints. So what people often do is the pre-commit task will be yarn lint staged. And pre-commit is run by Husky. So Husky will, it's like this weird convoluted flow because of two tools, but like Husky is a tool that can set up your Git hooks in your JavaScript, Node, whatever project, TypeScript, Dino, etc. Then Husky will run some commands such as yarn pre-commit. Then lint staged is a tool that will run some command on just the files that are going to be staged in your Git commit. So this is like this convoluted-ish chain that just what it does is it runs something on files that are going to be staged for your Git commit, or just your Git staged files. Where is this set up? Where do we run prettier in our format? I don't know where this is set up. Anyway, and this is really common for like auto formatting code. So like running prettier in -- write mode for people, so they don't have to manually fix up their code if they're not using a prettier editor extension. The pre-commit hook runs lint stage, which runs ESLint, just test, and prettier. Yes, I definitely do not recommend running lint or test in your pre-commit because it just takes forever and it's really annoying. Like we used to have in the TypeScript-ESLint repo before I was a maintainer, it was running tests in your pre-commit because people kept pushing PRs with failing tests. But that took like so long. Oh. With my help, yay, I was able to have ESLint work for TypeScript. Glad to hear it. ESLint recommended and the TypeScript recommended both pick up the same errors. For example, they both pick up no unused variables. The document says to turn it off in the rules section of ESLint RC. If you here, I'll show I've been working on this template package off and on. So oh yeah, Husky, I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with that thing. So what I do generally is I don't configure a lot. I'll enable some recommended configs. So like I'll enable ESLint recommended for everyone. And then for TypeScript files, I'll enable plugin TypeScript-ESLint recommended. But you should only need to disable a base rule if it's not already disabled in a recommended config. In fact, let me post a link to this in the Twitch chat. If you go to TypeScript-ESLint Git repo, and you go to the recommended file, like it's just a file, and I'll post that in Twitch also. Like you can see that in the recommended config, we turn off the base rules. So I can take a look, maybe there's something spooky going on, but in general, if you want to configure no unused variables, you can, without needing to also disable or turn off the base rule. And for those of you who are looking at this going, why are there two rules? What is happening? TypeScript-ESLint has rules that are TypeScript-empowered versions of base rules. By base rule, I mean something that ESLint itself provides. For example, ESLint itself has a rule, no unused vars or variables, but it doesn't understand TypeScript. So we have a version of that rule under the TypeScript-ESLint namespace that does better for TypeScript than the core one. So we just turn off the core one or base one and use our own instead. Yay. But yeah, I'll check the Twitter DM. And if anyone has any issues with linting or whatever, let me know. Do I think there's... Oh, I see this on the chat. No, there's no reason to use var instead of let or const. Maybe if you're doing some weird funky thing, you're working on a framework, but in my userland code, I've never actually needed to use var. Swanzors, pleasure having you. And I hope that we can work together on Striker soon. Happy holidays. Thanks for coming. Oh, someone has something good I wanted to get to. Oh yeah, I'm gonna sign off soon. I'm getting tired. Someone asked, am I an extrovert? I wonder about this. For the longest time, I was definitely an introvert. I think I'm what's called an extroverted introvert. The difference in my mind, tell me if you have a different understanding here, is that an extrovert is someone for whom social interactions give them energy. Like if they don't talk to people for a while, they get tired. An introvert is the opposite. It's talking to people saps your energy. I believe I'm an introvert because there's only so much I can talk to people before I'm just like, I need to be on my own. But I do enjoy talking to people. So I'm extroverted in that I enjoy this, but introverted in that it kills me if I do it too much. But yeah, the terms are weird and hard because there's so much variability there. I don't know. Anyway, I'm also going to sign off now so I can join my relatives for lunch. So normally I would ask, what are you? But instead I'm gonna find someone to raid. I'm gonna raid them. Oh, Matteo Colina. This person is very, very smart engineer. Highly recommend. So this was a pleasure. Let me know if there's anything else I can answer on Twitter, Mastodon, or wherever, Twitch. But signing off. Thanks for everything, everyone. This was fun. Sponsor me on GitHub because I'm full-time open source and don't have a job. So, bye for now. Thank you. Oh yeah, let me wait the raid. I always say goodbye and then wait the 10 seconds to raid. Silly.